Hey everybody! Well, today we're going to take a look at this awesome full-size replica of C-3PO's head. This is really neat. So I've been looking for a 3PO head for about a year or so and really couldn't find anything that was either affordable or that I liked. But this one here, I'm glad I waited because here we got this. Now this is actually has some gold plating on it. The eyes will light up, and also he says about, well, I know he says at least 20 different sayings from the movies, and probably more. But what's really amazing about this is that when you take the plating off of his face or his head, you get this. This is really neat. So this is the Phantom Menace version of 3PO's head. When we saw him, when he was naked, as he said, he didn't have his skin on yet. You can see all the wiring and stuff going on in there. On the back here, just talks about, you can see how the plates come off. And we'll go through all of that once I get this open. And then also there's like a touch sensitive section right here. When you touch that, that's what makes the eyes and the sound come on. It works with the gold plating on it as well. So this should be a pretty neat looking thing. Now there's no fancy packaging to this, so I'll just take it out of the box and then we'll go from there. Okay, here he is out of the box. Oh man, this thing is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Look at the gold finish they did on that. It looks absolutely fantastic. And I got to tell you, it is not an easy thing to film this because it is really hard to light it because of the weird shadows. And now that I've been kind of messing with this for the last 10 minutes, I can see how that might have been a problem during filming on the show, not to mention all the crazy reflections of the lights and everything else. But now I was looking at this. I don't think this is full size. It looks small to me. It looks smaller than actual size. In fact, I would have to say that I'm sure that Anthony Daniels' head was bigger than this. So it is smaller than actual size, which is a bummer. I do wish it was, actually full size. But see the shadows that I'm getting up here? It's really hard to get it just right. But I got to show you these eyes. I'll get a close-up of that. They look really good. And it's just amazing to see the beautiful gold uh, plating that they did on this. So let's take a look at these eyes because they look really good. It's got that kind of a clear plastic kind of thing going on in there. And I love the lines coming down here just like 3PO had. They look really good. So those will light up. The facial dimensions look really good. There's the mouth. Poor Anthony Daniels. That's the only way he could really talk or eat. Most of the time, they just stuck a straw in there for him to drink. Here are the little neck bolts. Those look really good. I mean, look at how nice this is done. The whole plating on this is beautiful. There's that antenna thing that sticks up at the top right there. Absolutely, absolutely fantastic. You can kind of see all of this going on down here. So yeah, and plating is not easy to do on anything really, but especially plastic. So this does come with a USB cord. It's a USB-C, and I'm guessing that's the on-off switch, just for the main power, I'm guessing. And then here's the back. I love this thing back here. That's always been a cool thing on the back of 3PO's head. That looks really good. Look at that detail on there. I'm not sure how well this plating is going to hold up over the years. Sometimes this stuff is really hard to, keep it from like fading out. In fact, I'm kind of seeing a little bit of it right in there. See that darker gold in there? Sometimes it's almost like a tarnishing effect. But that was done when it was plated. So I'm guessing this is electroplating or something like that. But this looks really, really awesome. All right, well, let's go ahead and, let's turn him on first, and then we'll see what he says, and then we'll also take a look at his lights of his eyes. All right, so I turned the lights down. I may have to turn them down a little bit more so we can appreciate his eyes. Now, the cord that this comes with is not very long. I mean, this is it right here. It's got some length to it, so at least there is, some length, but I'm using this one that's got a 6-foot length to it. So we'll flip the switch on, and there we go. Ooh, yeah, there's his eyes. Oh, that looks great. That looks really, really good. Now, on camera, they're more of a richer orange. Let me see if I turn the lights completely off. Well, they're still a little washed out. They have a nice, deep, rich orange to them that it looks more yellow here on camera, but okay, so now you got a touch up here, and he's got all of his voice tracks. So let me get the microphone closer to him. Okay, so hopefully he's not too loud. All right, so you touch him on the forehead up here.
I'm quite beside myself. We seem to be made to suffer. It's our lot in life. I'm going to regret this. I have a bad feeling about this.
Ooh, that's neat. That had an echo to it.
Take care, my little friend.
Oh, that one was a little bit louder than the others.
My parts are showing. My goodness. Oh. Will this never end? Oh. Where is everybody?
It's Anthony Daniels' real voice, too.
This is madness. Sir, my first job was programming binary load lifters, very similar to your evaporators in most respects.
Oh, that's nice. I think it works better right here in the middle. I thought.
Oh, I've had the most peculiar dream. I can assure you they will never get me onto one of those dreadful starships. Oh, I feel so helpless. Shut me down.
Oh, that was a quick one.
What's going on? Turn round. I can't see.
Oh, that was when he was on Chewie's back in pieces. That's pretty cool.
Sir, if you'll not be needing me, I'll close down for a while.
What is that, 12? I'm not even sure. I lost count.
Oh no!
Haha.
Protocol? Why, it's my primary function, sir. I am well versed in all the custom. Thank goodness.
Oh, that was quick.
Did you hear that? They shut down the main reactor. We'll be destroyed for sure.
Oh, that's a good
This
one.
is madness.
From the first A New Hope.
Hello, I am C-3P0 Human Cyborg Relations. How might I serve you?
That was a good one.
I'm not much more than an interpreter, and not very good at telling stories. Well, not at making them interesting, anyway.
They got a lot of them in here.
Oh, no! Oh, I'm so confused. It wasn't my fault, sir. Please don't deactivate me. Is my head on straight? I am C-3PO, Human Cyborg Relations.
Is that the one we started with? I've lost track now.
We're doomed.
No, I don't remember that one.
Where am I? With all we've been through, sometimes I'm amazed we're in as good condition as we are. What with the rebellion and all. I don't like the look of this. Thank the Maker. Well, you're singeing my circuits. Is my head on straight? I have a bad feeling about this.
Okay, so I think that was a repeat. Okay, so what is it? Maybe like 30 of them? I'm not sure.
Oh no!
And I don't know.
I'm so confused.
I don't know if they start in the exact same order, and then if you turn them off, does he start back at the beginning again, or does he start where you leave off? I'm not really sure, but the sounds are great. It's not really loud, but it's not really low either. It's I'd say it's about the right volume, because sometimes things are a little too loud, and it sounds pretty good. And it doesn't sound too muffled or anything, and I like it because it's definitely Anthony Daniels' real voice.
We seem to be made to suffer. It's our lot in life.
Okay. All right, now let's see if we can take this apart and see what he looks like on the inside. Okay, so now let's take him apart so we can see the inside of him. So the little neck bolts right here, you turn them a quarter of a turn, like about that much, and see how they pop off. It's actually a pretty ingenious design. And we'll do this one over here, counterclockwise. And then from here, you just pull them apart, like the faceplate comes off. I'm going to get fingerprints all over this. Ooh. Oh, look at that. Okay, so that's the inside of his head. Wow, it's even shiny on the inside, which is very unusual. Normally they don't bother with that. Okay, so here's, oh, this is neat. Oh my gosh. Wow. Look at his face. Okay, let me get this back piece off because this comes off as well. I'm pretty sure the back part comes off anyway. According to the instructions, let me see if I can figure out how this comes off. Don't want to break anything. The instructions just kind of show it come. Oh, there we go. Guess you have to kind of lift it or something here. Doesn't really explain very well. And I'm caught on something here. Ah, there we go. Ooh, wow, look at that. See, that's gold in there too. That's very unusual. Normally they don't bother with the interior. That is fantastic. Wow, look at this. Yep, he looks just like he did in the Phantom Menace. Look at all that cool stuff. I'll get a close-up of this. Oh, that is awesome. Now, I think also these come off. His neck plates, I think you can take these off as well. You can tell this is the first time I've messed with this. But you know what? I'll have to mess with this later because I certainly don't want to break anything. I can kind of see how they come together, but... Well, that one came off right there. And these, once again, these are gold-plated on the back as well. This is neat. I like that you can take all of this off. Seems like the back pieces are the ones that are kind of the sticklers for coming off. I'll have to kind of figure out how these go on, and once I've done it a couple of times, it'll be a little bit easier. There we go. See, look at that. More gold plating. Oh, this is great. Wow, look at that. Oh, I can actually see there's a little bit of weathering that they put on here. They painted a little bit of weathering. Oh, wow. Okay, well, let me get some close-ups so you can admire the awesome beauty that this is. Okay, so let's take a look at the front part of him here. Now, you can kind of see there's some weathering that they did on here. And his lights and voice will still work by touching these. So the touch sensors are underneath there. Here's the eyes. You can see the sides of them. They're plated on the side just like that. There's the wires. Oh, this is really cool. I am so impressed with this. There's the mouth area. That was cool. I remember when that movie came out, I was like, oh, so that's what 3PO looks like without all that on. Yeah, you don't really think about it until they showed it. There's some weathering right there. I don't know if you can see the rusting that they did on it. Now, I will say that these wires are a little, I don't know. That's the only part that takes away from it is that they're kind of, oh, I don't know how to describe it. It's like they're molded plastic. They're not real wires. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that are going to sit here and probably modify this. In fact, I could probably put some real wires in here. I'm not sure how they connect to these sections here, though. I mean, it doesn't look horrible, but you can just see that they're not. It's probably the one takeaway. You can especially tell where they painted the blue in there, and they kind of lost track of where they were when they were painting it. But I mean, it's still very nice, and they got variations in them too. The different colors, the thicknesses, how they crisscross. Really like these thicker cables that are going in here. Look at all the gray areas, all that stuff going on in there. That looks fantastic. And there's even some detail on the frame of his head as well. There's some stuff going on in there. That is really cool. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on in there. Even some detailing on the side right there. I love these ones that go down to his neck. They almost look like ground wires or something. I like those little clip things. Kind of a 20th century earthly looking technology, considering it was a galaxy far, far away. I like these. Look at how these wires kind of creep over the top. That's really cool. Those probably help center the head as well, the face plates. Oh, that's neat. Look at that white thing right there. It's like a little conduit section right there. You can see some of the plating on the inside. I mean, there's a lot going on in there. That looks really good. Here's the back of his head. Some kind of ribbon wiring there. So it looks almost like a heat sink or something right here. There's some more of that weathering. That's very cool. I'm going to have to see if I can get a display case for this because I don't want this getting dusty. I'm going to display them with the gold pieces on, but how cool is it that you can take off these parts to see all of this inside there? I mean, that's a lot of stuff going on there. I really like this one here too. Yeah, that's really neat, that piece. Like some kind of a sensor or something in there. Oh, that is so cool. All right, so let me plug him back in and we'll take a look at him with the lights back on without his skin on. Okay, so I've turned the lights back down so we can kind of appreciate his eye lights. Turn him back on there. There he is. That's so cool. I really like that screening, or I don't know what you call it. It's like that plastic kind of material they put in there to kind of give you that texture that 3PO has in his eyes. And there's like holes in there, just like poor Anthony Daniels. He was only able to see out of these tiny holes. He said it was so hard to walk around. He had no peripheral vision. He could only see directly in front of him. He was constantly falling and tripping and everything else. I mean, I can't imagine. But you know what? Kudos to the guy for being cramped in that suit for so many hours and for all those different movies. He's shown up in every one of the Star Wars movies, and it's just incredible. I mean, the guy has got some serious dedication to the part for sure. So here we got the voice thing.
My parts are showing. My goodness.
Oh, and that's perfect for this.
I can assure you they will never get me onto one of those dreadful starships.
So he's definitely louder without the plating on, obviously, since the speaker's not being muffled. And either side, let's see if the middle works.
We're doomed.
Okay, so it's this whole plate.
Thank goodness. This is madness.
All right, so that's cool. All right, now this purple wire here is the secret wire. That's the one that you use to change him into Sith mode. So let me get a close-up in there and show you how you do it. So you'll notice how it's plugged in right here. See that other hole? That's what changes him to Sith mode. So you just pull this out. And it's just, there's nothing on the tip or anything. So it must be like a switch that's like, when you push it in, it pressures down on it. When you do this, that changes him into Sith mode. So now let me turn his lights back on and we'll see what he does. Okay, so I've moved the microphone closer so we can hear him talk better. So let me turn the power back on. Ooh, look at that. Now he's got the red eyes. Like he did in, was it The Last Jedi? Gosh, I don't remember. Let me turn that down so we can really see his eyes. There we go. Ooh, look at that. Yeah, that's neat. Oh, that is awesome. Ooh, look at that. That's really cool. Wow, those eyes are creepy looking. I mean, once again, they're washed out on camera, but they're a deep red. That's very cool. Okay, so now let's hear his Sith sound.
The Emperor's Wayfinder is in the Imperial Vault at Delta 36, transient 936, bearing 32, on a moon in the Endor system. From the southern shore, our new display tells. Our new display tells.
Ooh, that was cool. It's like a last minute little bit. I don't know if you can see it, but there's actually some light coming through right here, and it's red. It looks really cool. I didn't notice that before, probably because...
The Emperor's Wayfinder is in the Imperial Vault at Delta 36, transient 936, bearing 32, on a moon in the Endor system. From the southern shore, our new display tells. Our new display tells.
Okay, so I guess he only has one line in Sith mode. I'm calling it Sith mode. I don't know what else to call it, but yeah, I mean that is awesome. What a great feature to add that into that. I mean that is so cool. They did not have to add that extra feature, but they did, and I think that's absolutely spectacular that they were able to do that. I mean they really kind of went the extra mile on this. So this is really, really cool. God, I love that. Okay, so let's put them back together. So I went ahead and put the wire back into his regular mode. So these little bumps or these little rods, they connect down into some holes. And you just put them in place right here, line them up. That's the back. Here's the front. And you just kind of click them in place. And there's also some holes here that line up with some lugs on the little posts on there. You just kind of push them together like that. And then on this side, same thing. You got some posts right here sticking up, and you put them in there like that. Match them all up, and then you put the whole thing down so that it fits tight. You can see how it just kind of clicked in place right there. All right, so then we can go ahead and do his back headpiece. I am still amazed at how beautiful the gold plating on this looks. Let's see, I wonder if it goes better. No, it won't fit that way. So let me put this back on here. And it looks like this piece here has got to go inside where that antenna is. So there we go. Just kind of have to kind of fit it in there. Hopefully that's where it's supposed to be. Looks like it's lined up. All right, then we got his face that goes on. If you've seen behind the scenes footage of them putting Anthony Daniels in the 3PO costume. It goes together just like this. It's like the front and back half when they put him in there. And once he's in there for a while. Poor guy. So there we go. You know, I have a little experience of being trapped in a robot costume because at the conventions, I used to play the Lost in Space robot. And my friend Craig, who has one of the most accurate Lost in Space robots I've ever seen, inside and out, I would get inside of that robot, and I could be in there for about 2 hours. And let me tell you, that's actually 3 hours. I think my record was being in there for 3 hours. Most everybody else that tried to play that part could only last about 20 minutes because they would get so claustrophobic and they just couldn't handle it. And so, yeah, so it was always so fun to do that. Unfortunately, that convention has been closed down here where I live, and it's too bad. That thing's been going on since 1977. Well, I'm having a heck of a time getting this on, aren't I? Oh, there we go. Yeah, I think the back one wasn't on all the way. So yeah, I feel for Anthony Daniels. I know what it's like to be in a cramped thing with electronic wires all over you. So now this thing, it's got some notches right here and here, and you can see these little notches here and here. So you just match them up, and it doesn't matter which one you put on which side because they're both the same. So you just kind of line them up like this. Easier said than done, right? Let's see, where is it? It's hard for me to see from the side here. Okay, there we go. And then you turn it clockwise, and it locks in place. And that's what holds both halves together, which I think is a very clever way of doing that. That way you can pick the whole thing up and you don't have to worry about it falling apart. There he is, all back together again. Ah, beautiful. All right, well, there we go. The Disney almost full-size replica of C-3PO's head. This is an absolutely beautiful, gorgeous replica. I am so impressed with this, not only because of the beautiful gold finish, but they also have his eyes light up. They've got, I think I counted 32 sounds. I don't know. I had to go back and watch that. I think there's like 32 different voice tracks, and they clean them up too. Like, you know, if there's probably some sound effects or background music, they took them out, which is really cool. And also the fact that you can take the whole thing apart and see the inside of him, that was going above and beyond. I think that is so really awesome that they were able to do that, give him his Phantom Menace look, and that you were able to change that wire, that secret little wire, and you can have him do his Sith mode, which I think is great. One thing about this, though, major fingerprint magnet. I mean, you're going to have to get some kind of a microfiber cloth to kind of get these fingerprints off. I'm going to have to go back through here and really polish them up. And I think I'm probably going to have to get him some kind of a display case just to keep the dust off of him. I'll probably contact Kingdom Brick Supply. They're really good at helping me find the right size of case that I'm going to need. So these retail for $120, which I think is an incredible price. I mean, honestly, I have seen some, I almost bought some that were like $300 or more, and they didn't do anything. I think they had lights in there, and the lights didn't even look as good as these. No voice, no interior detail, nothing. And I've seen some that go for even more than that, like $500 or more. So for $120, this is a steal as far as I'm concerned. With all these features, the voice tracks, the lights, the interior, oh, absolutely, totally worth it. So I got this from the Disney store, the Disney online store. And what, more fingerprints? I tell you, those are going to drive me nuts. My OCD is going to kill me on that. But yeah, so I got this from the Disney store. I went back on there, and it looks like they're sold out of these. And so hopefully you can get them. Well, if you're going to go to Disneyland or Disney World, I'm sure they have them there as well. I heard these are limited editions. The limited edition number is 3,720, which just cracks me up because that number is reference to C-3PO saying that the success of successfully navigating an asteroid field was 3,720 to 1. So I think that's so cool that they picked that number. Now, if Disney was smart, they wouldn't do a limited edition of these, and they'd just make as many as they can sell, because I think these are going to be hot sellers for sure. But if they are, in fact, limited editions, I would try to get one as soon as you can before they're gone, because on the secondary market, they're probably going to go for at least twice the amount of money. But absolutely beautiful piece. I highly recommend getting one of these if you're a 3PO fan. And you know me, I love robots in general. And I've been looking for a 3PO head, and this is really great. All right, well, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons if you like this sort of thing, and I would appreciate it. And in the meantime, I will see you on the next video. So thank you so much for watching, and have a good one.
Sir, my first job was programming binary load lifters, very similar to your evaporators in most respects.